Hey, and welcome back to J.P.s Retro World. I am your man J.P., and thank you once again for joining me and for watching. To be honest, I have not really any idea of what I'm going to talk about right now. But my wife's gone to a birthday party and left me here by myself, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to come on here and kind of do a video. So I guess what I'll do is number one, I'll kind of give you an update. And then I'll kind of finish up with my Wrestlemania series where I'll do 2021 back to back. And I'll just share the memories I do have because after that, after WrestleMania 21, I honestly just it wasn't that I wasn't watching at all. It's just I wasn't really buying the pay-per-views and I wasn't watching from week to week. So I really wasn't invested too heavily in any of the storylines back then. But I eventually, got back into it, and my wife and I eventually started getting the pay-per-views, uh, at least Rumble and Mania. Those are the two, besides SummerSlam and Survivor Series, that we would pay to see because she was into wrestling, and but those ones again, I watched it and I was into it, but it still wasn't as epic as it was in the 80s. But I'll get to that. So here's a quick update. So like I said before, my job is full time now, so I really don't have a ton of time to do video. I used to do them. I used to do these videos with you right after work because I would get off early in the afternoon, hours before my wife get home. So I'd come home, I'd set up, and I'd do a video. But that's not the case anymore. I mean, I still get home before my wife does, but it's only like a half hour or so before she gets home, and I don't want to be in the middle of doing a video and have her come in and, hey, what's going on? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, whatever, make her feel bad. So, but what I might do is I might start just doing the videos while she's here. I mean, she's got a whole lot of TV shows that she streams that she likes that she has to get caught up on. So it'd be a perfect opportunity for her to get caught up on those shows, and I can come in here and I can do this. So it'll work out perfectly. Now, I got informed today through Instagram that some people that have ordered their retro ring, their Mattel retro ring, have already received them without a notification. So the message said, keep your eyes out because you might be getting it any day. So any day now, I might be getting my Mattel retro ring, and when I get it, I'll unbox it and I'll show it to you, and then I'll put it together, and then I'll show it to you. I'll put together and everything. So watch for that. Yeah, so the job is going okay, you know. But like every job, there are things that I don't like about it, but that's every job. So, so I'm doing best I can with it. It actually may allow me the opportunity to actually acquire a car soon because right now I don't have a car. My wife does. We actually kind of share her car, but she needs it to go to her job. And my job is just a really short distance away, so my boss actually comes, picks me up every day. So it works out. But by the way, I'm wearing my Hulkamania hat. So this hat is a hat that I actually bought at Hulk Hogan's Beach Shop in Clearwater, Florida, back in 2015, when my first wife and I visited Florida to visit her family. We went into Clearwater one day, and we visited Hulk's Beach Shop, and that was really fun. It was really thrilling for me. This was before he had the Orlando Beach Shop. This is when he just had the Clearwater Beach Shop, but it was still awesome. I came in, and the guy that was working there was the familiar guy that you see on social media that's always with Hulk, and I told him, I came all the way out from Oregon to visit this shop, and he's like, oh, well, then by all means, take your time, look around. And so I did, I looked around because when's the next time I was going to be there? So I actually ended up buying some things, including this hat. And I ended up buying something else that I'll eventually show you. But it was actually a copy of SummerSlam 2005. Now, the significance of that year for SummerSlam is Hulk Hogan wrestled in the match against Randy Orton. They actually brought Hulk back and put him in a storyline with Randy Orton. So it was kind of cool. So anyway, but no, that experience was awesome. Hulk wasn't there that day, but I didn't expect him to be there. I didn't really expect to see him. But anyway, like I said, getting back to the update, um, I'm just waiting for that retro ring to come in before I do the big pay-per-view build-up match that I've been trying to build up over time. Then after that, I'm not going to stop doing action figure matches, but I might change up the format. I might have you guys, send in requests for matches that you might want to see, and then I'll do them. It's no problem. I don't mind doing that. But I also thought about opening up a forum where you guys can just ask questions. I'll do videos where you guys just ask me questions, or you can ask me to watch a movie that you recommend, and I'll watch it and I'll tell you what I think of it. So anyway, so yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna try to get on here, and I'm gonna try to start doing videos, when my wife is here. Normally, like I said, I like to do it when she's not here, just because she feels bad if she accidentally walks in while I'm doing one. She thinks that she's just messed up my entire life, even though I try to tell her, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. But anyway, yeah, so I'm still gonna do these, I'm still gonna go, but I'm gonna ask you, what you'd like to see. Do you want me to review the Royal Rumbles? Do you want me to do those? Do you want me to do SummerSlams? Do you want me to, what do you want me to talk about? Do you want me to do more? You want me to pepper in more of the retro non-wrestling stuff? Or, I don't know. But, I really enjoy doing this, and I really enjoy talking to you guys, and I really enjoy, talking about this stuff that I grew up on. Movies, stuff that I grew up watching, and TV shows and all that kind of stuff. And I may even review some music. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, so WrestleMania 20, I believe it was at Madison Square Garden because it was the 20th anniversary. At that point, in every 10th year, they would do it at Madison Square Garden because that's where the first one took place. So I don't really have a ton of memories of number 20. I think I remember John Cena beating the Big Show for the U.S. title. Right after that is where he turned the U.S. title into that stupid spinner monstrosity belt that he created, which I can understand for his character why that belt would work, but it was really stupid for any other character. But anyway, so, and then I think Undertaker wrestled Kane, and I believe Kurt Angle wrestled Eddie Guerrero on that one. And then I think there was a triple threat match because the World Heavyweight title, which used to be the WCW title, which Triple H owned at the time, he was the champion, but back then they were just calling it the World Heavyweight title. So, because WCW was no more, but they still had that big, cool looking big gold belt that they still wanted to utilize. And so Triple H was the champion. And so him and Shawn Michaels were kind of feuding at the end, or not at the end of what, but they were feuding. And so they had this match at WrestleMania, but the problem was the winner of the Royal Rumble that year would get a title shot at WrestleMania. Well, the winner of the Royal Rumble ended up being a certain individual that we don't mention on this channel because he murdered his family. And so he ended up winning the Royal Rumble, and he ended up going to WrestleMania and winning that match, becoming the world champion. So, whatever. WrestleMania 20, Oh, I do remember there being a match between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. And I remember because Stone Cold Steve Austin was the guest referee for that match. So Goldberg ended up winning, but that match really wasn't very good because both of these guys didn't want to look weak. So they were both kind of really pushing, and it wasn't a very good match. But, and on top of that, both guys were kind of on their way out. So, anyway, that was WrestleMania 20. That was 2004. So the next year, WrestleMania 21, 2005. Now, WrestleMania 21 is actually one that I was actually interested in seeing because it was kind of when I started to kind of get back into wrestling. I had moved to California with my parents. And one day, and I had been out of wrestling for a while, but one day, it was on a Thursday night, I think. I think this was still when SmackDown was on Thursdays, but my dad was just flipping through the channels one night, and he came across WWE SmackDown. And so he called me into the living room, and I said, yeah. And he's like, look, it's wrestling. I'm like, oh, yeah. He's like, you want to watch it? I'm like, okay, sure. So my dad was nice enough to designate Thursday nights and Monday nights so that I could watch the TV because we only had one TV in the house. The rest of the time, my parents got to watch whatever they wanted, but my dad designated Thursdays and Monday nights for me to watch wrestling. So, my dad, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us. He died in 2015, but, I still miss him. Anyway, but yeah, so WrestleMania 21 actually had some good stuff going on there. They had a 6-man Money in the Bank ladder match. I think that was the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. But it was 6 guys. And I think Edge ended up winning that match. And they had a Belfast Brawl, I think, or something. No, I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it. So, and I do have the DVD somewhere. I've got it somewhere. I don't know where I put it, but I know I've got it somewhere. But yeah, I know JBL lost the WWE title to John Cena. And then Triple H, I think lost the World Heavyweight title to, I forget. I forget who he wrestled at the time. It was Batista. That's right. So because I went to the Royal Rumble that year, and me and my cousin Brad, we went to that Royal Rumble, and because I had won tickets online, and I took them, and Batista won that Rumble, so he got the chance to go to WrestleMania. That's who it was. Batista beat Triple H that year for the World Heavyweight title. And, there was actually just a lot of really good stuff on that event. And actually there was a sumo match. Big Show versus Akibono, the world sumo champion. And so there was some pretty cool stuff on that event. And I'm sorry, I don't remember a lot of this specific. I think Shawn Michaels was there. Oh yeah, Shawn Michaels wrestled Kurt Angle, which was a classic match. And then The Undertaker wrestled Randy Orton. So that too was a classic match because Undertaker was old school. Randy Orton, by blood, was old school. He was taught old school. So that was an old school heel versus babyface type of match. And it was really good. So I actually really enjoyed WrestleMania 21, which was held at the Staples Center. And I think the next year, I think it was either that one or the next year, was the last one that took place in just a regular arena. Because at that point, Vince McMahon wanted to have all the WrestleManias at big stadiums because he wanted it to feel big. So, anyway. Yeah, so update WrestleMania 2021. That's probably where I'm going to stop with the WrestleManias. Just simply because because WrestleMania is continuing and it's a continuing thing. And at this point, I had just completely After that, it would be kind of a lie saying I completely lost interest because, like I said, my first wife and I were into wrestling, and we did order the pay-per-views, but I really only ever watched it one time, and then on occasion we would buy the DVD. But I really they didn't really have these epic, memorable matches like they did in those early days. So I mean, that's just me. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. So on my next one, after I turn this off, I'm going to do a classic movie review. And it's a movie that I watched from my childhood, and it's a movie that I still love to this day. In fact, I watched it with my wife last night. And it's an awesome movie, so stay tuned for that. So, if you're new, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe. We're having a lot of fun over here talking about retro things, and I will see you next time.